Well, we're still a few days away from the official end of third quarter, but we've got some preliminary data to share with you from our U.S. apartment market survey. Welcome to Apartment Market Dynamics from MPF Research. I'm Jay Parsons, and I'm joined today with Greg Willett, the Vice President for Research and Analysis from MPF Research. And Greg, we saw the apartment market perform very strongly in the first half of 2010. And so the question was, would that continue into third quarter? And having a few days now to look at the results, what have you seen? What jumps out?
Well, Jay, the story is really more of the same, and that's a great story because, as you pointed out, the first half of the year numbers were really strong. During third quarter, we absorbed about 68,000 units. That's 4 times the now really tiny level of completions that we're seeing. And year to date, we have absorbed more than 280,000 units, a really strong number. Looking at some of the regional patterns, what we see really strong performance from the Midwest during the third quarter. The Carolinas, which had done so well in the first half of the year, continue to sustain some momentum. The 1 weak spot, repeating what we said last time, Southern California, a little bit sluggish, not backtracking, but not the momentum that we see elsewhere.
And as you see on this chart we're putting up on the screen here, overall occupancy is now at 93.9%. That is up a half point in the quarter and up 1.7 points annually. And as occupancy is moving back up, apartment operators are pushing rents back up again. In fact, for the first time in 2 years, annual same-store rent change registered in positive territory as of the year ending September, which, Greg, you correctly predicted here on this program.
Take the victory lap here. I mean, that's not a hard call because we are seeing a little bit of growth on a quarterly basis. At the same time, you're dropping off some negative numbers from 2009. So for the quarter, rents were up 1.2%. The annual change is also 1.2%. So some really encouraging numbers on the rent side.
Well, it's very humble of you not to take too much credit. But Greg, let's look a little more at these numbers. Of the core 64 markets, roughly 50 are now registering positive same-store annual rent change. And the newcomers to this list as of 3Q include Austin, Chicago, Greensboro, Winston-Salem, Memphis, Minneapolis, Oakland, Portland, and Raleigh-Durham. And annual rent change was close to break even in a number of other markets. So, Greg, what's left? Who's still lagging behind?
You're right, Jay. At this point, it really is to talk about who are the laggards than who is gaining, because really almost everybody is gaining at this point. The one really big negative on an annual basis is in Las Vegas, with rents down about 6%. We have another half dozen or so markets where rents are off on an annual basis by about 1%. We'll show you another list here. Those markets are Atlanta, Phoenix, Tampa, Houston, Seattle, Salt Lake City. But again, since we're dropping off that negative number from 2009, replacing it with a positive 2010 number, we're going to be at break even probably everywhere except Las Vegas by the time we get to the end of the year.
And speaking of year-end, looking at fourth quarter, it's usually a pretty soft period for the apartment market. Will that hold true in fourth quarter 2010, or will this strong performance so far in 2010 continue late into the year?
What you usually see on the quarter is that occupancy backs up about half of a percentage point. Really, a lot of that is because there's not enough leasing activity to deal with the new completions that you tend to have in fourth quarter. But this year, we're really not going to add very much new supply at all, just a handful of units. So I do think that occupancy will end up staying basically flat for fourth quarter, and we'll have a little bit more rent growth as well, probably getting us to annual rent change for the calendar year of more than 3%.
And there you have it, Greg Willett's prediction for 4Q 2010. Hey, he was right last time, so put this one in the bank. And that wraps us up for Apartment Market Dynamics. So for Greg Willett, MPF Research, and Apartment Market Dynamics, I'm Jay Parsons. Thank you for watching.
Want more? Go deeper with MPF Research's apartment market reports. From a national level, down to individual metros, to specific neighborhoods, MPF Research has been providing unparalleled apartment market intelligence to the multifamily industry for almost 5 decades. Learn more by contacting us at 877-284-4938 or visit www.npfresearch.com and click on Market Reports.